Yes, hello. I'm in the forest in Viernheim, that's close to Mannheim, and behind me you see an old bunker. There's the metal door, and above there's like a railing thing. It's done later on by the city hall, so nobody can fall down if a kid or so goes on the bunker. Let's walk quickly there. It was those bunkers, there are many of them around the forest, and it was an army base, US army base in Germany during the Cold War. And here you see the door. I just walked here, and there are some phone numbers written onto the door to call in case of an emergency. It is APO phone numbers and American phone numbers, and this one here is a German phone number in Mannheim, 0621. It was made for the army, for the soldier, if something happens here. There were rumors that the American army had stored here chemical weapons during the Cold War in a forest where close by people live, just a mile away, or even closer than that. And 10 years ago the US Army left that area and opened up the forest. And here you can see here the city hall had to build something so that nobody falls down walking on the bunker. The bunker was hidden with a grass roof in the middle of the forest. It's really interesting, and some of those bunkers are now open, and the door is open here and you can walk in. I walked in some. There's nothing inside, of course. They are cleaned out. They had a pipeline, water pipeline and electrical pipelines that go into the bunkers, and some drainage, water drainage in front of the bunkers. Okay, I show you another one. Let's just walk over. It's just amazing because I used to live close by in the same city here, and now the forest is very peaceful, and people can go here and walk around and just relax and enjoy the birds and the green, and it's very anti-stressful. But there's still the leftovers of the Cold War, the old bunkers. Probably it would have cost too much money to take them away. It's like big, huge concrete, and so the American soldiers just left those bunkers here. There's so many. I just walked like 5 minutes up here, not even 5 minutes, 2 minutes, and here's another one. I show you this one. That's another one. That's another bunker. They're all the same, and there's a concrete in front, a huge concrete thing, so nobody can open the door. I think the city hall rented them out to people so they can use those old bunkers for storage. I don't know really how old those bunkers are, but let's walk to the next one. I think many decades old, maybe 3, 4, 5 decades old, and they were secretly built one after the other. Just look on the other side. Here's another one. Let's walk quickly there. So yeah, that's here's another one. I saw a while ago some animals in there. Some farmer rented probably one out and put some sheep inside, maybe for the winter time or for the cold days, I'm not sure. Here's another one. Look at that. All the same structure. Yeah. And yeah, if it comes to your finances, it should be built like a bunker or like an old tree. Like it should last very long and should be very stable and protected. And how you do it, you build it for the long term. Just look what Warren Buffett is doing. And Warren Buffett buys companies that are 100 years old at least, that pay huge dividends. Dividends are very important to you, and he doesn't care if stocks jump up and down on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis, on a yearly basis. He does not care. He just holds on to them for the long run, And that's what you should do. You should really watch out for huge dividends, and it is very helpful to the long-term performance. It gets underestimated by investors, but it's so important, as you can see at Warren Buffett. And Warren Buffett buys when there's fear. He gets greedy when the market is fearful, and he's careful when everyone else is greedy. In a crisis, he buys aggressively after a stock crash or during a stock crash, and he doesn't go in the emotional traps the average investor has a problem with. The emotions. The average investor is very worried about making a loss, and there's this loss aversion. That's a huge problem people have. They are afraid of losing money in the stock market because the stocks jump up and down because of the volatility, and that's a huge mistake people do. They are so fearful of it, and when they have a loss in their stock, they usually sell on a low and they buy on the high. That's the average investor. It's always the same mistake. Yeah, but it's normal that you always have a loss, or your portfolio will be always far away or a bit away from the all-time high. Your portfolio will always jump up and down, and you will rarely be close to the all-time high in your portfolio, and you should learn to deal with it, with these gaps to the all-time high. Yeah, that's you have to learn it. You will, most of the time your portfolio will be like 20% or 10% away from the all-time high, and then in a crash or so it will be 20, 30, 40 or even 50% away. You just have to calm down, and you have to learn to be relaxed, but that's very difficult. It's easy to say and hard to do, but one tool is, there are several tools how you can deal with that problem. Is one tool is not to check every day or every week the stock market and your portfolio. Another tool is to reinvest and to invest on a monthly basis automatically, just to buy an index fund or rock solid companies, like what Warren Buffett is doing with Coca-Cola, IBM, Exxon, not anymore Exxon, but Wells Fargo, American Express, and so on. Just buy on regularly, and on a monthly basis you can buy an ETF or an index fund, and then you pretty much are, on the long run, you are doing very well because of the compounding. After 3-4 decades you buy an ETF, you will do very good, very well, and that's an easy tool, and that's actually what the rich do. They have passive income streams, and the middle class don't have that. They build up with their money. They make more money because they understand the system, how it works, how the machine runs, the economic machine. They make more money with their money because they invest it very smartly and wisely. And the middle class, what I always see, most of them just spend it on luxuries, travels, cars, leasing. They pay leasing, clothes, fashion, jewelry, and so on and so on. They just waste their money. That's typical middle class. And as I said, the rich invest and they have passive income streams. And they know it's hard at the beginning, but on the long run, even for a small income, you can build it up over 3-4 decades. It's very easy. You just have to automate it. You save on a monthly basis, and it takes care of itself. And it's pretty easy. You have to do something. The retirement, the government retirement plans, the social securities of these worlds in the industrialized world do not function anymore. They cannot cover your expenses when you get older, when you retire. That's not enough, so you have to do something on your own. And to add on to those retirement systems, you need a second and third cushion. You need something. It can be a house, it can be a rental income, it can be dividends, or maybe both, or a mixture of all of it. That is smart and wise to do, and I really recommend it. And just a few words to that forest. Where I am right now. It's close to Mannheim. Mannheim is here was the car invented. Daimler, Mercedes, Benz. The diesel engine was invented, and also the bicycle was invented by Mr. Dries. It was a bicycle with two large wheels, I think built out of wood, and the bicycler was just standing, kind of half sitting, half standing, and used the legs, but could also rest. There was the first bicycle invented in Mannheim, Mannheim. Yeah, I was born there, and I really like it here. And here, by the way, you see the old. It was kind of a protection to protect the army base. Here I show you. You still see some leftovers here. Yeah, this was the army base. This was the outside, so nobody could walk inside. It was very well protected by soldiers and army. And here were American soldiers protecting that area with all the bunkers and their bombs and secret weapons. And you had here, Heidelberg is also around the corner. It was a headquarter of the NATO, it still is. You have Ramstein, that's not far away in Germany. There is a huge air base, a lot of planes and stuff. But you can go far back. This area, Viernheim, Mannheim, was also a huge headquarter of the Nazis. They had here areas where the soldiers were trained. And if you go further back, thousands of years, like 2000 years, it was a huge headquarter of the Roman Empire here in Germany, like cities like Worms, Speyer, Trier, and other cities are in Rhineland-Pfalz, in the southern part of Pfalz. You can find like old Roman farmland, walls, buildings, bridges. They had water pipelines. It was an amazing system what they had. And yeah, they had here large cities. The Romans liked it. It was because of the rivers. It was easy to access. It was easy to protect. The temperature here is mild. You have a lot of wine. The Romans did wine, grapes and stuff. And yeah, they had a good protection and a good transportation through the rivers, the Rhine River, the Neckar, and so on. Yeah, it's just amazing. I like it to go in these old Roman churches, thousands of years old. It's just beautiful. And yeah, that's the region where I was born, where I lived. And Frankfurt, by the way, is not that far away. It's just 45 minutes by car. Okay, that's all for today. Out of the forest, I'm standing in an old army base. Okay, bye.